Hello, YouTube. Hello, hello. Hope open up the live chat on YouTube. People are see YouTube. Alrighty, and boom. Okay, awesome. We're good. Let's jump in. So, we had a question. Where are you from? So, Emily, I am from Canada, born in Canada, raised in Canada. My roots are from India. However, what's interesting is that my family is actually born in Uganda. And so mom's side is born in Uganda, but roots are from northern India. Dad's side is born in Fiji, but roots are all from South India. So that's a very long way to say that I am a Indian who lives in Canada, born and raised in Canada. Hello, Deb, 2811. Thank you for hopping on. I'll say this one more time. 6 people now watching. Cool. Hello, Andy, you nerd 101. Whoever's on YouTube, seems like a couple people there. Just type in the chat. Love to say hello. As usual, hola, 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 Andy, ¿cómo estás? Bien, bien, ¿tú cómo estás? So I'm naming this live stream the Good Old Saturday live stream. Why? Well, because today is just a good old Saturday. Nothing overly special. Had some work this morning. Had some work probably for the first half of the day. So what, 4 hours in the morning. Had a bit of a break. Said hello to mom, sister, ate, all that. And now gonna jump into probably another 4-hour stretch of work. So it's about 7 p.m. now. I'll probably work until about 10, 11, and then take a few hours to myself, and then hit the bed. I really appreciate all the hearts on Instagram. Instagram, just so you know, I'm gonna be hopping off soon, so I want to show some love to Facebook as well. It's been a while since I've been on Facebook, but just as an FYI, what I'll do is I'll type in my Facebook right now on the Instagram. It is, oh shoot, crap, how do I do this? Aha, Emily's asking, how many languages do you speak? I speak English, French, Spanish, all very fluently. With my family, I speak Gujarati, but I can't read and write, and there's a lot of vocabulary I don't know. Hello, Marcos on YouTube. And I'm also learning Mandarin currently, learning Chinese. Okay, so Facebook, FB. So I'm gonna be hopping off in a bit. Hello, Amanda, long time no see. Hello, hello. I heard you're back. Heard you're back in the States. That's pretty cool. Hope you had an awesome time in China. Everyone, Amanda, someone I got to know in China when I was living there. AZREN, the language nerd. All right. Hello, Marcos on YouTube. Hope you are doing well. So let's talk about some language stuff. Let's see what's going on. In my world, language related. I said this in a YouTube video, but I'll say it here. I recently, I'm going to be doing a bit of a quote unquote Chinese camp. Basically what that is, it's not that I'm going to be running a summer camp, nothing like that. But more to the effect of I'm going to spend a few $100s, probably a couple $100s, go on italki and book myself probably about 4 hours of language lessons per day for probably a 21-day stretch. And I'll be focusing entirely. I'll be focusing entirely, that's a hard word to say, entirely on on Chinese Mandarin. So that's going to be probably last couple weeks of July is what I'm thinking. Because in the first couple weeks of July, oh, that's interesting. Good thing to talk about. In the first couple weeks of July, I'm actually running a English literacy summer camp. So it's going to be interesting. I've got most of the details. I'm waiting on a couple things. I'm not the organizer. Someone else has organized it. I am just the person facilitating and running the camp. So it's going to be interesting. 15 to 20 different people in the camp. And 15 to 20 people in the camp. And it's going to be varying ages. So going to be a cool experience. Hello, hello, whoever is on the stream here. Looks like a couple people just joined. Hello, hello. Marcos has got a question. Marcos, I'll answer your question in a second. All right, Instagram, I'm going to be hopping off. So I'm going to be going on Facebook here. All right, it's back. Perfect. Sorry about that, YouTube. Sorry. I was using, I have a bit of a problem with one of my internet browsers. When I use Safari, with these live streams, it cuts out a lot. I've made a mistake, so I'm now using Google Chrome, so it will not cut out again. Don't worry. That won't happen again. All right, let's get the Facebook stream going. So my apologies, YouTube, but now no more cuts. So let me get this Facebook stream going. We'll call it, all right, post, and we need to get a live stream. Go live. Here we go. Awesome sauce. This is called Good Ol' Saturday Language Live Stream. Okay, there we go. Go live. Hello, Facebook. Hello, hope you are doing well. We are also live on the YouTube. See, as you guys can see, live on YouTube as well. See, check it out. Got some different people watching there. We were live on Instagram a moment ago, but I decided to leave Instagram and come say hello to people on Facebook. So let's see who hops on. We've gotten quite a few new followers lately, so kind of hoping. Actually, it's a Saturday evening though, so most of you guys are probably out drinking in the bar, having fun, partying, all that stuff. All you people with lives. I unfortunately do not have much of a life. Most of my life is my work with languages. So cool. So we had a question from YouTube. Marcos asking, in your opinion, which is the most beautiful language in the world? It's a hard question. I can speak from my own personal experience from the languages that I speak. So I speak English, French, Spanish, Chinese, Gujarati. Those are the 5. Out of the 5 that I speak, the one that I enjoy speaking the most is Spanish. That's kind of my favorite one to speak. However, that being said, I will say this. I do think that English, that's from Jamaica, I do feel that that sounds very nice, and I do like how it sounds. I do think that French sounds quite nice. I used to think that Chinese, like Mandarin, I used to think that it didn't sound very nice. However, now that I've started to learn it, I understand how it works. I understand how the language is structured, how they make their words. It's actually a very poetic language. Most people don't view it that way. Most people think it sounds, at least in my experience, most people think that it sounds very choppy and it sounds quite odd. But no, I think it's a very poetic language. Like, for example, this is not a poetic example, but just to give you an idea of how they make their words, is that everything has a character, right? As you guys know, Chinese is a very character-based language. So instead of having letters, there is a character for every single word. And so, for example, what happens is that when you need to make a word, you will take different characters, put them together. So I'll give you an example. If you want to say a giraffe, okay, like the animal with the very long neck, a giraffe in Chinese is 长颈鹿. 长颈鹿, what does that mean? 长 means like means long, 颈 means like neck, and 鹿 meaning like a deer. So a giraffe in Mandarin translates to a long-necked or a long-neck deer. So it's quite fascinating how that works, right? Or even like a lot of animals in the rodent family, they have the same character in all of those rodent, and all the rodent animals have this one specific character, which basically, if I'm not mistaken, means mouse, and that's how they make a lot of their words. So it's very interesting. It's quite logical compared to call it English, compared to call it French or things like that, where it's just arbitrary letters. And I understand, right? You could argue that oh, the letters come from they come from Latin, or they come from whatever language, right? But overall, I've learned to appreciate the character system in Mandarin. I've really learned to appreciate that. What I'm interested in doing actually is I would be interested one day to understand Thai, because Thai looks. I couldn't really imagine what Thai sounds like, only because it's not something I've really been around a lot. But I've seen it written quite a bit, and it looks like such a fascinating language. And I feel like that if I was listening to Thai, or if I was learning Thai, I feel like it would be a very melodic, very beautiful, very, let's say, musical sort of language, because it just seems like it when I read it, or when I look at it rather, it just seems like it would be. I might be totally off. I'm actually going to Google it right after we're done this live stream just to see. And yeah, so Facebook is quiet. It's pure crickets. Facebook is pure crickets. I'm actually a little bit surprised. For some reason, Interestingly, before I started this live stream, I had this thought that I'd go on Instagram, no one would really hop on, and then I would switch to Facebook and we have some different viewership. What's ended up happening is I went on Instagram and there's a bunch of people watching. I went to Facebook and there's like crickets and nobody's watching, but that is okay. So let's talk about a couple language things. Let's see what's on my mind as of right now. I'm getting, I know it's still far away, but I'm getting really excited for Langfest. Langfest is a festival in Montreal. If you guys have watched my What's New videos on YouTube, I've talked about it a little bit. But I know that those videos are a little bit boring. My What's New videos are quite boring. Hello, one live viewer on Facebook. Hello, we got one now, and we got a few on YouTube, which is cool. Where was I going? Facebook viewer, if you want to hop on to say hello in the comments, that'd be phenomenal. Now, yeah, Langfest, if you guys have watched my videos, the What's New videos, I understand they're relatively boring because it's more of just like me talking about my life, and often it's not language related, it's just like a vlog. But it is interesting, right? I mean, Langfest is a festival in Montreal where people go that are interested in language learning. I've gotten a really good, actually, on that note, for the very few of you watching, actually, you know what, let's do something fun. For the few people who do happen, or who are currently watching, there's like 2, 3 of you, or it looks like 3 of you, 2, 3 of you watching. And I'll throw this out for anyone who happens to watch this live stream and gets to this point in the video, because I know people who don't often watch the recording of live streams. So I'll repeat, anyone who gets to this point in the video, who actually gets here, or live viewers now, I'll put this out for you guys. Why don't we do a bit of a contest or giveaway? Why don't we do, let me think about this. Why don't we do this? Okay, let's get this. Actually, so if people are watching this moment, I want to see in the chat, if I made a competition, and people who actually get to this point in the video, type in the comments after when you're watching the recording. I'm curious. If I made some kind of competition about, hey, I'll make a competition where I actually purchase your Langfest ticket, if that would be something you guys would be interested in. I've been thinking more about it. I think it would make sense. Now, you guys would still have to be able to pay for your accommodation. You'd have to be able to pay for your hotel. You'd have to be able to make sure that you can pay for your your food costs while you're there. But I'm more than happy to take care of your ticket if that's something you guys would be interested in. But I got to see some yeses and nos in the chat. Otherwise, I'm not going to spend much time on it. But I thought it'd be cool to do because it's a very small audience who's currently watching, and probably will be a very small number of people who actually get to this point in the video. So I thought it'd be a cool way to give back to the people who happen to be paying attention on this Saturday night. So if you guys want that, type it in. If not, not a problem. What else is going on language related for me right now? I think, oh, Marco's got a question. Where are you from Canada? I'm from Calgary, so it's on the west side, close to the Rocky Mountains. Language related, what else is going on? I guess let's go to Chinese. I recently had a lesson where I learned basically every animal you could ever imagine in Mandarin, which is pretty cool. I don't remember all of them, but I'm gonna study them. I think it's a really cool way to go, is that if you can make a huge list of things that you specifically want to know in a language, I think it can be a phenomenal idea to then take like a lesson on italki, because lessons are very affordable on italki. Take a lesson on italki and ask all of your specific questions. Man, it's a great way to be taking lessons at an affordable rate. It's not very expensive, and be learning the things that you really want to learn. That's kind of my hack right now. It's really what I do in French and Spanish too. Even though I am very, very fluent in French and Spanish, it's something that I do. So, and I really, really, really enjoy it. So, looks like we have one person, 2 people on Facebook now. Cool, a couple people hopped on. If Facebook is gonna be sticking around and you guys are gonna hang on, I will keep the stream going. If Facebook crashes down to 0, we're gonna turn the Facebook stream off. And yeah, we're gonna turn the Facebook stream off. So we'll see if this one person sticks around or not. Say hello in the comments. We have a couple who have been watching for a while on YouTube, which is cool. I appreciate it. And they are off of Facebook. So Facebook, goodbye. It was crickets, but that is okay. I'm fine with that. Facebook, goodbye. YouTube, hang on. Ow, my phone is getting really hot. Holy moly. All right, Facebook, see ya. There we go. Facebook has been finished. Wow, my computer's getting real hot on this live stream. All right, I don't need to post this live stream on Facebook. No need to do that. All righty. Perfect. Oops. Beautiful. Now, shall we go back on Instagram? Sure. Why don't we hop back on Instagram? Let's see if people want to say hello. Start on Instagram again. Awesome. You know what I realized, guys, a little while ago? I realized that live streams are a heck of a lot more similar to podcasts than they are to like actual YouTube videos. I used to treat them like YouTube videos, but I think I need to start treating this more like a podcast system. Let's see if people hop back onto Instagram. Let's see. Hang on, we got to turn this a touch. Can we do it? Yeah, there we go. Let's see if people hop on the Instagram. Oh, did someone open my garage? Nope, they didn't. Awesome. Let's keep talking about languages as this goes. So more language stuff. Let's talk about Chinese. Let's talk about French and Spanish. Yes. So, oh, one person's back. Hello, person on Instagram. Let's talk about French and Spanish. So I obviously, as you guys know, I speak French and Spanish fluently, and I teach French and Spanish as well, which is really fun. And I've been finding it to be really great to do group. I've been finding value lately in doing group work. So doing group lessons, group events. I found that doing group work is a really great way to drive learning home. Hello, the Kyle Marshall. Hope you're doing well. I'm on live on. Oh, the Kyle Marshall. Hello, hello. I just realized who you are. That's cool. So anyway, yeah, I found that I'm a bigger fan of the group stuff lately. When it comes to language events, teaching languages, I'm finding there's different dynamics in that than when you do just one-on-one. And building on that same thing, I've also found that there's a lot of value when you do. Let's do this, by the way. Say hello, say hello, say hello. Anyway, cool. I've also found a lot of value when you do group lessons and you have the same person going through one-on-one lessons as well. I find that that's a really great way to be driving learning home for people. So hello, Andrew. Hello, Year of German is back. Year of German, you were just on. I hopped off to Facebook and I decided to come back to Instagram. Andrew, that is an interesting name. I've never seen someone named Andrew before. That's pretty cool. Andrew AB, are you from Alberta? That would be cool if you were from Alberta, because that is where I am from. All right, let's see. What other language stuff is going on in my world right now? Other language stuff in my world is, we can talk about my students, and obviously pushing a lot on my own students. Andrew, hello. Pushing to find a lot more students lately. It's been going quite well. Usually finding about 1 to 2 new students a week, which is exciting. Man, I'm running out of things to talk about. Need some different questions. If we don't get questions, I might just hop off again. Trying to think. You know, not a ton else that's coming to mind right now. So give me some language stuff to talk about. Give me stuff in the comments. Actually, let's do this. What languages do you speak? Obviously, if you got Brazil in the house, that means you speak, obviously, Portuguese. I assume you speak some English since you're on this live stream. I assume. What are the languages that you speak? Cool. English, French, Spanish fluently, learning Mandarin, and then I speak Gujarati with my family. My favorite to speak, Andy, would be, my favorite to speak is probably Spanish. And has nothing to do, oh, here's something cool to talk about. I'm very fascinated with why I like certain languages and why I don't like certain languages. For example, when I first started learning, actually, let's back up. For Chinese, right, Mandarin, before I started learning Mandarin, I used to tell myself, I'm never gonna learn Mandarin. I was like, it's just not gonna happen. And it was because I found that it just felt very foreign to me. I didn't really mesh with the culture at all. Like, I didn't really know that many Chinese people. And, you know, eventually what happened was that I started to become really interested in it. I started to think about it more, and I was like, oh, maybe it is interesting. Took a couple classes. I was mildly interested, studied it passively, went to China, lived in China for a month, kept studying. And eventually, you know, I'd say I really started to like it, when I came back from China in 2016. In 2016, I went to China for 2 months, and I went to Taiwan actually as well for a little bit. Taiwan and China, most of it in China. And that's when I really, really, really started to like Chinese the most, because I started to understand the culture more. I started to understand where they were coming from on certain things that I wasn't a fan of before, or didn't really fully understand. The language itself, I talked about this 5 minutes ago, but on the stream. But the language itself, I started to understand the logic of how it works, how they make their words, why it's a character system. And I started to appreciate the character system of writing. and all of that stuff, right? And all of a sudden now I'm starting to like it more. And so for me, what's interesting, the reason that I like specific languages more than others is because when I start to understand the culture more, and when I start to mesh with the culture, So for example, I prefer to speak Spanish over French, right? I prefer to speak Spanish over French for sure. And primarily because, Andy, yes, I can write in Mandarin, but really I'm not awful. I'm not great at it. I'm pretty awful. I've really only started to put a focus on writing recently, so I can, but I'm not great at it. So there's 3 years of speaking, listening, and reading. Now I'm starting to focus on writing as well. So, but it's interesting because Spanish, I really like Spanish more than I like French, really more than I like Chinese too, because I get along with people from Latin America specifically, and Mexico as well, and Spain too. But Spain a little bit, obviously like people from Spain, no question about it. But I find that there's a certain warmth, there's a feeling I get when I talk to people from Peru, from Chile, from a lot of those countries, and it makes me feel good. And because of that, I like the language because I like the people. And so for me, the language is more about the culture, the people. It's more about that than it is about the language itself. Isn't that interesting, right? I think that's interesting. I think it's quite fascinating. Thank you for that question, actually. Yes, I really appreciate that. It gave me something to rant on for a couple of minutes. So, you know, I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm feeling, I think it was long enough to come say hello and interact with you guys. So thank you, Instagram, for listening. Thank you, YouTube, for listening. And I will, oh, actually, last thing we'll do, this always happens. I go to end a live stream and then I get some random idea, and then it goes another 5 minutes. I'll throw this out on Instagram. There's only 3 of you. There's actually 2 of you on, 3 of you on, looks like 3 on YouTube, 3 on Instagram, but low battery, so I'll need to definitely hurry. Now, I'm gonna throw this out. I wanna know what you guys think. I want to know, I'm gonna be going to Langfest in August. It's August 25th to August 27th. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, okay? It's a language festival. So it's a festival and conference for people who are learning languages or who have an interest in learning different languages. And I'm going to be going to this. And I was thinking about doing some kind of a contest where I actually purchase your Langfest ticket. So the ticket normally is about $200 Canadian. And obviously there's different ways you can get discounts and things like that. But happy to purchase your ticket. I can maybe make a competition. But I was just wondering if there's anyone that would even be interested in a competition like that, where I purchase your ticket for Langfest. You'd have to figure out how you're getting to Montreal. So you'd have to get a plane ticket or however you're gonna get there. You'd have to problem solve that. You'd have to problem solve your hotel, like all of that. But I'll get your ticket. I want to know if people would be interested in a contest like that. So YouTube, there's a couple of you guys here, a couple of you guys on YouTube who. Nothing on YouTube happening, but if you guys would be interested in that, let me know. I'll put something together. I've talked about it once in a video that didn't really get too many views, so I assume most of them, no one really heard about it. The Kyle Marshall said, I'd be interested. Cool. Kyle, you're in, oh yeah, Kyle, that'd be cool. So Kyle Marshall's interested. Cool. See if any others come through. Something I'm thinking about. So something I've thought about a little bit. Not sure what the contest would look like, but something on my mind. So anyway, Emily is back. Hello, Emily. Yes, I was on Facebook for a bit, decided to come back to Instagram. So, yeah, I think we'll kind of wrap things up here. So let's end the YouTube stream first because my laptop is gonna die. Let's end this off. So YouTube, oh, where is the YouTube stream? How do I, aha, here we go. YouTube stream is ended.